Ever felt that gut-wrenching moment when you realize the person you trust most is lying to your face? I lived it. For 5 years, my marriage to Laura felt like something out of a storybook. We had our dream house, two amazing kids, and what I thought was an unbreakable bond. But then things started to change. It was subtle at first. She started working late more often, claiming her boss, Mark, was piling on projects. She'd come home smelling of a cologne that wasn't mine and would guard her phone like it held state secrets. I tried to ignore the warning signs. I mean, this was Laura, my Laura. I told myself I was just being paranoid, that I needed to trust her. But the late nights became more frequent, the excuses more elaborate. One evening, she called to say she was stuck at a work emergency and wouldn't be home until late. Something in her voice just felt off. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I drove to her office. The parking lot was empty. Every light in the building was off. My heart sank into my stomach. She wasn't at work. She had lied, again. At that moment, I knew. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, a cold, calculated calm washed over me. I drove home, my mind racing. If she was going to play a game, I was going to change the rules. I started gathering evidence, not out of spite, but for self-preservation. I took screenshots of her deleted texts that I found on our shared cloud account, saved hotel receipts I found in her car, and documented every lie. Each piece of evidence was a small, painful cut, but I knew I needed to be strategic. My kids were my priority, and I had to protect them and our future. For the next 2 months, I played the part of the devoted, unsuspecting husband. I made her favorite dinners, listened to her fake stories about stressful days at work, and even planned a romantic weekend getaway, all while my stomach was in knots. It was the hardest acting job of my life. I felt like a stranger in my own home, watching my life unfold like a bad movie. Every smile I gave her felt like a betrayal to myself. But I had a plan, and I had to see it through. The breaking point came during our anniversary dinner. She was glowing, talking about our future, our plans, our dreams. All I could see was the web of lies she had spun. The next morning, I told her I had a surprise for her. It was a Saturday. I drove her to a nice cafe, the same one where I proposed. She thought it was romantic. I had arranged for her boss, Mark, to be there. I'd sent him an anonymous text from a burner phone, pretending to be Laura and asking him to meet her for an urgent talk. When we walked in, the look on their faces was priceless. The color drained from Laura's face as she saw Mark sitting at a table, looking just as confused. I calmly sat down and placed a thick manila envelope on the table between them. "Happy anniversary, Laura," I said, my voice steady. "I believe you two have some work to discuss." Inside the envelope was every piece of evidence I had collected. The screenshots, the receipts, copies of our joint bank statements showing her spending, and a pre-filled set of divorce papers, already signed by me. Laura started stammering, trying to create another lie, but Mark just stared at the evidence, defeated. The charade was over. I looked at Laura, the woman I once loved more than anything, and felt nothing. Just a profound sense of relief. I stood up, told them my lawyer would be in touch, and walked out without looking back. Leaving them sitting there amidst the wreckage of their deception was the beginning of my new life. It wasn't about revenge in the end. It was about reclaiming my truth and my future. The aftermath was messy, as these things always are. The divorce was finalized relatively quickly, thanks to the mountain of evidence I had. I got full custody of the kids and the house. It was a tough transition, but we built a new life, a more honest one. The kids are thriving, and for the first time in a long time, our home is filled with genuine laughter, not secrets. I learned that sometimes the sweetest victory isn't about getting even, but about getting free. It's about choosing yourself and your own peace of mind over the chaos of someone else's lies. Looking back, I don't harbor any bitterness. The entire ordeal taught me so much about my own strength and resilience. I learned that you can't control other people's actions, but you can control how you react. Instead of letting her betrayal destroy me, I used it to build a better, more authentic life for myself and my children. It proved to me that even after the deepest betrayals, it's possible to heal, rebuild, and find happiness again, on your own terms. True strength isn't about holding on, it's about knowing when to let go and walking away with your head held high. If you're going through something similar, remember your own worth. It can feel like your world is collapsing, but you have the power to rebuild it, stronger than before. Seek support, trust your instincts, and know that you deserve honesty and respect. Your story doesn't end with their betrayal. It begins with your decision to choose a better chapter for yourself. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It wasn't easy to share, but I hope it can offer some perspective or strength to anyone who needs it. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. I appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, take care and stay strong.